Saan nila dapat ilagay pera nila in 2023?
Number one, first investment idea, take advantage of the high short-term interest rates.
Mga beshi, pumunta tayo ng Parañaque today. Dahil napaka-exciting ng ipapakita ko sa inyo mamaya. Dumayo tayo ng Parañaque para makita natin ang bahay at garden at mga reveal ng mga skills ng Chief Investment Officer ng BDO Unibank. Ito yung kanyang ginawa. Oh, look! Sobrang wala akong skill sa ganyan, pero tara.
This is my garden. Yan, yung mga unknown part ni Fritz Ocampo. Yan.
nga!
Nagla-landscape ako.
Oo nga. Hindi, alam ng mga tao na ikaw ay magaling gumawa ng shows, magaling mag-host, and of course, your chief skill, which is investing, di ba? Pero ito yung secret skill mo, and passion.
Hindi ako plantito, ha? Hindi ako yung naghahalaman.
I was gonna say, baka ikaw yung ultimate plantito.
Hindi, mainit itong kamay ko eh. So
okay.
namamatay. Pero madami akong ideas pa paano siya ayusin.
So taga-utos ka lang ganon.
Oo.
Ito, itanim mo, ganyan.
Hindi rin ako marunong mag-draw. Ha? So wag mo ako papadraw ng ganyan. Pero nasa utak ko yung paano ba ayusin.
And all of these, ikaw talaga ang may idea kung paano. Ano mga to? What's the principle behind how to make things corners and spaces beautiful?
Yeah. So if you look at it, maliit lang siya. No? Pero the way we fix it, maaliwalas. Yeah, maaliwalas. So whether it's to use stones to complement
That's why
the plants, ganyan. Parang contrast. You use the concept of contrast and grouping. Pati dito, so poinsettias. Grouping siya. Yan.
Contrast and grouping.
So,
parang investing lang yan.
Diba? Oo. So, maliit na pieces or maliit na halaga, maliit na budget, diba? Pero, pag inayos namin, mukhang madami. Kasi naka-group siya.
I see.
Diba?
May analogy pa yun sa investing.
Parang, mamaya, isipin ko.
Sige. Okay, let's look at your garden.
tayo.
Excited na ako.
So here we use pebbles, rocks, and then ito yung sikreto. Ito ang bird ko.
Ang birthday Fritz! Ito, first reveal for the day, guys. Gusto niyo makita ang bird ni Fritz.
Halika. Yan ang bird ko. Kinakausap ko rin yan. Hinahanap niya, oh. Naging active siya. Pero minsan nagsasagutan kami niyan.
Actually, nakita ko na yan in action kanina. Oo, nagsasagutan. Sabi mo, pag breakfast, nag-uusap kayo.
Between 6:30 to 7:30. Yan ang me time namin. Nagsasagutan kami.
Me time ka sa bird mo.
Sa bird ko. Minsan, three other birds will land here. And then mag-uusap sila. Tapos lilipad na sila.
Ano nga yan?
Kaya mo? Another skill ko yan. Pwede.
Ang ganda niya, in fair. Tapos sabi mo, wild lang to.
Wild lang yan.
Pumunta lang siya dito.
Isang umaga, naglilinis ng kotse sa labas. Dumako sa paligid.
Tapos ayaw niya
Tapos
umalis.
gumanon. Hindi na siya umalis.
Galing. Parang domesticated na yan.
Di ba kanta yan? Ibon mang may layan lumipad. Siya
Ayaw niya.
Ayaw
niyang lumipad.
Ayaw niya. Happy na siya dyan.
Ano pangalan niya? Ng bird mo? Ay,
Birdie.
Yes. Ano yun? May kanta nun eh, di ba? My birdie. Hi, birdie. Bigyan mo naman ako ng tips saan mag-invest
Yeah.
in 2023. Malalaman natin sa kanya.
Lahat ng mga ito, nung binili namin, maliliit pa yan.
Kasi pag malalaki na sila, expensive na.
Yes.
Even those are expensive.
Yes. So, kaya madaming ibon. Kasi nakikita nila yung greens. With development, they were eased out of their sanctuary. Diba? Pero dito sa Parañaque, madami pang ibon. So, madaming mga ibon.
You
ito.
said this house is 26 years old.
Yan.
Oo.
Yan. Ito kay Nito. Yan ang orchard ko. Ang sipag niya, mamunga. Oo. As in, yan o, you see up there? Ganon kalaki.
Oo nga.
Ganon kalaki yung mga kay
Ito ko
Nito
yung,
dyan.
paano yun? Inaakit nila?
No. Sinusungkit.
Sinusungkit.
No, kailangan matanggal bago bumagsak. Kasi
Yeah.
pangit na ito.
Oo nga.
So parang yun sa
Taas,
painting, ganun kalaki
Ganun
yung mga
kalalaki.
kay Nito. So,
Swerte
yan
niya
ang
naman
orchard
sa
ko.
lupa.
1-3 orchard.
1-3 orchard.
Oo, 1-3 orchard
No,
yan.
no, you have papaya.
So, sa halaman, pag malaki binili mo, mas mahal.
Mm-mm.
Example na to, buy on dips eh.
Yeah,
Ang strategy
meron na,
lagi,
meron
buy
na.
on dips.
Buy on dips.
So, pati sa halaman, maliit, mura.
Oo, mura pa.
Sometimes 20 pesos, 50 pesos. Ganyan.
So your capital is only 20 pesos but it looks like it's
Yeah.
20 million
Yes.
house.
Oo, di ba? Ganon. So, ano nga, because the land is fertile, tutubo siya. So many of these, even these rapis here,
Rapis.
mas matangkad na yan sa'yo. Pag binili mo
Kanina mo
yan,
pa ako pinagsasabihan
pag
ng
binili
tangkad.
mo yan, ang mahal yan.
Oo.
Kasi matangkad eh.
Yeah.
So nung binili ko yan, 20 pesos.
Ayun lang kanina.
Oo.
But it takes a lot of time to grow. Just
Yes.
like investment.
Yes.
Wow.
Dapat long-term view.
Oo,
Diba? So may mga
Oo,
analogy.
tama,
Ganyan.
tama.
So, yan, kunwari, on a weekly basis, hindi mo siya makikita biglang magsisurge, di ba? In price. Di ba?
Mabagal talaga.
Mabagal. But, kunwari, after 6 months, ay, ang laki na. And then, namumunga siya, parang stock dip. Di ba?
Ay, dividends na.
May
Oo.
dividends na namumunga.
Or nagdagdag ng isa
Yeah.
pa.
So when we
Oo.
see shoots, itawag natin green shoots.
Yes.
When we see green shoots, hinihiwalay namin yan. Binubukod namin to another plant or another investment.
Yes.
Diba?
Galing ah.
May
May analogy na tayo. Bakit may puno na naputol?
Ayan. That's another tall tree, but medyo nagre-risk siya sa next door house.
Okay.
So, kinap namin. Pero buhay pa yan.
Wait. May naisip ako pag investment yan.
Ah.
Minsan, kailangan mo din mag-prune ng investment.
Diba?
So,
Parang
ano,
nagtitv kami dyan. Take profit. Yeah.
take profit
Yeah.
na.
So,
Otherwise, pwede maging risk sa kabila.
so this is the...
Yes! Ang ganda.
Lipat
So,
tayo.
should we? Yes. Okay.
Ganda talaga ng house. Super nag-enjoy ako sa iyong house tour. First time ba ito?
First time ito. Kaya pati makasambahay ko, sabi, sir talaga.
Pero
Darating
ang
sila
ganda.
sa iyo.
I love it because it's so airy, it's so homey, tapos it's so artsy. Ang dami kong natutunan also in the way you invest in art. Pero let's talk about investments naman. For 2023, yan ang inaabangan ng mga tao sa'yo because you manage the biggest funds in the industry, right? Saan nila dapat ilagay pera nila in 2023?
Okay. So, 2023 will remain a volatile year. Although 2022 was something we haven't seen since the 1970s. So, saan lalagay yung pera? Number one, first investment idea, take advantage of the high short-term interest rates.
Okay.
Okay? Whether you're looking at peso time deposits, it's gone from sub 2% to 5% right now.
Ay, no?
Okay?
Time deposit na tayo.
And that's why we're seeing money getting out of money market funds for the retail,
Oo.
for the small investors, and moving it to this high 5%. But caveat, not everybody is being given 5%. So it
Pero
depends.
minimum.
It depends if you're at 20 million, 50 million, or 5 billion. Diba? But yeah, look at the short-term interest rates. Even on dollar time deposit, from just 10 basis points, you can now see 3.5 to 4.5%.
Grabe, no?
And it's been
Laki.
like 10 to 20 basis points, meaning 0.10% to 0.20%
Before COVID.
for the last 5 years already, 10 years. So, that's a simple idea. Second, continue to build your bond portfolio. Now that interest rates are at 6 to 7.5, and for the long term, approaching 8, this is the ideal time to build your bond portfolio, especially if you're a retiree, like my kuya and my ate. For easily the last 10 years, they were just getting 3 to 4%
Oo.
gross.
Parang pag binawas mo yung inflation, parang maintain ka lang, no?
Yes. And now, when you compare 6.5 to 7.5, it's higher even than your dividend yield in the stock market. There are just a handful of stocks that can give you, 7 to 8%. So, build your bond portfolio.
Hindi sagabal dun yung high inflation.
The high inflation, we believe, was already seen in 2022.
It
Okay.
will go down.
Headline inflation will now slowly creep downward, especially by the second half of 2023 when the high base effect of 2022 kicks in.
So para
Okay.
sa ating viewers na retail investors, ibig sabihin nun, kung naka-lock in ka ngayon sa 8% sa bonds, tapos yung inflation mo over the next years will go back down to 3 to
Yes.
4, meron ka ng guaranteed na net return.
Yes, on your coupon. Kasi
Oo,
coupon
on your
payment mo
coupon.
is quarterly or semi-annually.
Mm.
So, nalock in mo yan. And then, on the capital gains, as interest rates go down, because inflation is going down, the price of the bond starts moving up.
Yeah.
So, you have mark-to-market gains also, if you believe in that, if you even bother to look at that. But, so, that's why we are going out in the public and saying in 2022, this is the time to build your bond portfolio.
Okay, teka. Step back, unpack a little. Pag sinabi sa retail investor na mark-to-market gains, ibig sabihin nun, kung hindi ka mag-hold till maturity, gusto mong ibenta in the near term. Kunwari, matatapos yung bond in 7 years pa. Kunwari, 7 years. Pero, bibili ka ng bahay. Kasi,
You need to raise
magpapa-landscape ako sa'yo.
you need to raise cash.
Kailangan ko ng pera.
Pangbayad sa akin.
Pangbayad sa'yo kasi mahal ng talent fee mo sa pagla-landscape.
Ah.
Ganyan. Sabihin ko, wait lang, in 2 years, ibenta ko. At dahil, sabi mo nga, bumaba yung interest rates, umakyat yung presyo, ganun talaga yung bonds, guys. Pag bumababa interest rates, bumababa yung interest, umaakyat yung presyo niya.
Yes.
Pwede ko siyang ibenta before
Yes.
matapos yung 7
Yes.
years.
Because
Kikita ko.
because bond prices, just like stock prices, moves every day. Okay? And everything is on a mark-to-market basis.
Yeah.
Meaning, may presyo pag gusto mo lumabas or pumasok today. Yeah? Name any stock, it goes up and down.
Ganun
Sa
din yung
bonds, ganun din. And as you mentioned, there is an inverse relationship, no? Between interest rates going down, the price goes up.
Oo.
Interest rates goes up, as we saw in 2022, the price of the bonds go down. You get negative revaluation.
Parang inverse relationship yan ng edad ko tsaka weight ko.
Uy, hindi naman.
Sige, balik na tayo. Okay, so bond portfolio, take advantage of short-term interest
Yes.
rates, time deposits, bumili ng bonds.
Yes.
Anong mga klaseng bonds ang maganda?
Okay. For the retail market, we saw a very strong demand for a 5-year. No?
Magkano yan ngayon? 5?
At 5-year, the last RTB was at 575 and it rose all the way to 6.5, 675. So, with the recent short-term rally happening, meaning interest rates are now going down because wala ng auction for the rest of December, the prices are now moving up. Diba? So, if nag-invest ka lang 2 months ago,
Oo, kumita ka na din.
or in end of September when the fear was really high, kita ka na.
Nice.
Okay? So, although the idea to build your bond portfolio is really for the retirees, for the retirement funds. It's stable income, cash flow on a regular basis. Okay? And to answer your question, how long? It depends who you are. It depends what your objectives are. Okay? So for our insurance money, we can go 10, 20 years because the asset liability is really for long term. Diba? But for ordinary individuals, 5 years is a sweet spot. Okay? Simply because think of any of your titos and titas. And
Ako yun.
the titas of Manila,
Me.
easily you'll still be around in the next 5 years.
Oo naman siguro.
Diba?
Ayoko pa to the moon.
You have stable coupon payments quarterly or semi-annually. And then when it matures on year 5, you're still here.
Yeah.
Diba? And then you can reinvest. Okay? But
Or
right
I
now,
can go on a cruise.
yes. But what we're seeing in 5 and 7 years, right now, that's the emerging sweet spot,
Mm.
especially the 5 years. The last 5 to 10 years, it was just like 1 to 3 years.
Mm.
Kasi sobrang baba ng interest
Oo
rates,
nga
di ba?
Oo.
So, bakit ka magla-lock-in
Oo
kung
nga.
ang babayad
Ang
sa'yo
pangit.
3%?
Oo.
Eh ngayon, nasa 6.5 to 7% or 7.5%. So, pwede na.
Kung super long term ako, like ako talaga super long term. As in, ang boring ng
Okay.
portfolio
So,
ko.
super long term.
Kunin ko ba yung 7 years?
Kunin mo yung 7 and 10. No? Kasi, you're only 35. So, in 10
Or
years,
lang,
you'll be
dinagdagan mo ng 1 year.
45. Di ba?
Oo.
Pwede pa.
Pwede
So-
pa, pwede pa.
So, imagine, habang kumikita ka with your racket, iniisip ko yung word, with your mga racket,
Madam Raketera tayo.
meron kang monthly or, quarterly
Yeah.
coupon payment, okay pa rin, di ba? So, if you can get at the 8, 8.5, why not? Even if it's a 10-year.
Yeah.
Diba? Although, siyempre, lahat takot.
Mm-mm.
And everybody is so unsure if they'll still have a job, ganyan. But, ito nga stable eh. Okay. So, that's the second idea.
Ayaw natin matakot.
Diba? And then, the third idea is, yan, on equities. Diba? I always told you in your different shows, buy when there's a mega sale. Similar to the women's shopping.
Right.
Diba? Itong
Ano
Christmas
pang
season.
70% off lagi eh.
Kikrismas shopping ka ba
Christmas.
2 weeks before Christmas?
Siyempre.
Hindi. Diba? Pag may mga sale, August, September, dapat namimili-mili ka na. Diba? So, same in the stock market. And we saw global and local markets fall this year by as much as 20 to 40%. For,
Pwedeng sale na yan.
yeah,
Pero
for
kung
China and Europe.
sa dress, hanapin ko talaga 70%.
Diba?
Pero
Eh,
pwede
kailangan
na yung 40%.
mo naman yan eh. Kailangan mo
Oo,
yun
eh.
sa mga racket mo.
So,
But-
pwede na yung 40%.
Diba?
Na
So,
sale price.
Kunwari,
sa stocks.
so, sa stocks, bumaba 40% for some markets like China and Europe. So, on one hand, you have the fear.
Mm-mm.
Okay? Ay, naku, recession daw, ganyan. And then, on the other hand, as an investor, di ba tama bumili?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, take advantage of this mega sale in the equity, global and local equity market, right? And then, the next question is, ano bang bibili?
Yes.
Ah,
Yun na nga, nabasa mo na yung iniisip ko eh. Ano ba bibilin?
ano bibili?